Shipping Private Limited. He has rich experience in logistics and has worked with various institutions. Sundaram Dilip was a general manager and Southern Region Lift and Shift India Private Limited, and also a director at ASV Supply Chain Service Private Limited. Apart from his corporate presence, he is also a visiting faculty in various prestigious institutions like IIMM and the CAA Institute of Logistics. He is also a qualified customs broker under CBLR. On behalf of our director, Dr. U. Amaleshwari, and other faculty members, I'll take immense pleasure in inviting you, sir. And thank you for accepting our invite. We are awaiting to hear your enlightening speech, sir. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Good afternoon to one and all. Can I go ahead or?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's in PDF form, so you can scroll down. Basically, the supply chain management, SCM. In short form, we call it as an SCM, and for an international, it is called G. You have to add the prefix as G, Global Supply Chain Management, SCM, GSCM, Global Supply Chain Management. Before we move on to the subject, what is very, very important for you as a student. You are going to be a professional in the next year, that is on completion of your MBA second year, and that too the colleges like Vaishnava, DG Vaishnava. It's a very prestigious college, and what you have to keep in mind three things. Number one, honesty to the core. You have to remember honesty throughout your life, and always respect to the government of India or respect the country where you're working, the rules and regulation of that country. If currently we are in India, we have to respect the government of India rules and regulation. Then the third one is you have to, it is not 1, 2, 3 hierarchy. It's equal importance. The third one is you have to give respect to the rules and regulation of your organization, where you are working or where you are studying. Right now you are studying in DG Vaishnava. So you have to respect the policies and procedures of the schools and colleges or wherever you are going to work, that company's rules and regulation. These three things will enable you to take it to the greater height. This is number one. Number two, these kind of seminars, particularly your colleges conducting, bringing the professionals, this will make you to become a more employable scenario. So it's a very competitive environment, today's scenario. That too with COVID, last 2 years, we are finding it very difficult. However, this is not a permanent one. The change is the only permanent. So the scenarios will keep changing. It will definitely improve over the period. By the time you complete your MBA, I hope the world will pass through the COVID coronavirus. You call it a disorder, or instead of disease, it's a kind of, okay, you call it as a disease or disorder, whatever name, scientific name. So these three things are very, very important. Honesty, respect to the government of India or wherever you are working in that country rules, and the company or the institutions rules and regulations. With this background, we will move on to this subject, and maybe toward this the 1 hour session, we have planned it in such a way that you have a PowerPoint PPT, which our friend Mr. Saktivel is sharing it on behalf of me. So many thanks to Saktivel and to your management. The second part of it is some live videos, live pictures. So let us enjoy the live pictures and understand the concept. Toward the end, even if it stretches 5 or 10 minutes, let us talk about the current scenario, the market scenario, on particularly on the employment angle, particularly on SCM, supply chain management. Okay. With this, we will move on to this definition. What is a supply chain, SCM? First, it's a network. So the network of external suppliers, internal processes, or external distributors, and the link connecting them. The link, what it is going to connect the external supplier and the internal processes and the external distributors are called a logistics link. This link can be domestic logistic or it can be an international logistics. If it is a domestic supply chain, then the link is a domestic logistics. If it is an international, then it is, if it is global supply chain, then the logistic is called an international logistic. That deliver the finished product or the services to the end customer. See, in business, we need to have, always we need to have 4 kind of people. The 4 is again not in the hierarchy of 1, 2, 3, 4. They have got an equal importance. The first person, we call it as a customer. Then the second is the employer. Third is employee. Fourth is vendors. These 4 stakeholders, we call it as a stakeholder, are equal importance. They are like 4 wheels of your car or 4 wheels of your table. So each one has got a role to play. Each one of the stakeholder has got to have to do a good role to play in the supply chain and in the business, mainly in the business, right? The business can be of, again, 3 types. It can be manufacturing, or it can be a trading, or it can be a service industry. The manufacturing, the example of manufacturing, you would have heard or seen the factory, Hyundai Motors in Sriperumbudur, the place called Irungattukottai. See, they are the manufacturers of car. They make Hyundai brand cars like i10, i20, various brands. So we call them as a manufacturer. Then the traders, example is your Reliance Industries, your Reliance digital stores, or your mobile stores. What they do is they buy and sell. They do the trading activity. The third one is service. What is service industry? Your college is service industry. Our company is service industry. Hospital, service industry. So these 3 industries are present domestically and internationally. Wherever you go, you can classify the business into any one of these 3 categories. And again, you can classify the stakeholders or the stakeholders as a customer, employer, employee, and the vendors or service providers. So with these 3 kinds of business, 4 kinds of people, we are doing our business. So in supply chain, you have an external supplier, and we call it as sometimes internal customer, internal supplier. See, let us see the external suppliers. Like for an example, Hyundai Motors. For Hyundai Motor, their dealer called Kun Hyundai is the customer for them. And assuming you are buying the car, you are the end customer for Hyundai Motors. So there is a dealer in between the manufacturer and the end customer. As MBA student, when you buy a new car of Hyundai Motor, I'm just giving an example only. There is a intermediary, because the manufacturer themselves will not deliver the car to you, right? And there is a supply chain link is required. So this link is called a wholesaler, or can be a retailer, or it can be various different stages of forward or backward integration of the customers, end customer. This is called an external suppliers and customer. See, one is assuming for Hyundai Motor, the Kun Hyundai is the customer. For Hyundai Motors, the MRF tires is supplying the tire to Hyundai Motor. Then this MRF tire, even though they are a manufacturer, you call them as a supplier. So what the Hyundai Motors is doing, they are manufacturing the car. This is called OEM, original equipment manufacturing. OEM, original equipment manufacturing. So you have a customer called a Kun Hyundai. Then that Kun Hyundai, you call them as a dealer. Then assuming Shaktivel is buying the car, I'm just giving an example only. And my wish is Shaktivel need to buy the car. Each and every one of you have to have a good placement, good career in the life, and buy a beautiful car. It's my wish. So when you buy a car, Hyundai Motor, then you are the end customer for them. And for you, the supplier is Kun Hyundai. For Kun Hyundai, the supplier is Hyundai Motors. That is OEM, original equipment manufacturer. For Hyundai Motors, they have various suppliers, domestic supplier and international supplier. So a domestic supplier can be supplying the raw material or components or various other packing materials. Similarly, the Hyundai Motor can import the raw material, components or various packing material. Then you call them as an international supplier. So for Hyundai Motor, MRF is supplying the tire. You call MRF as a supplier, domestic supplier. So there is a process, internal process. That means Hyundai Motors is buying the sheet metal, they buy the engines, they buy the auto electrical, then they also buy various components and subcomponents in order to assemble a car. So this process, this is like your computer. Computer is a process. No? Like there is a CPU, you are entering and a PowerPoint is coming, or you are taking a printout. Similarly, the process is called an internal process, and the finished product, that is your finished car, i10 or i20, they supply to Kun Hyundai, their dealer, and you are going to be your the end customer. So you have an external distributor and the link connecting them that deliver the finished product to the customer. So in this PowerPoint, you have seen external supplier. The external supplier can be a domestic or international. If it is international, it is called an import. Similarly, instead of supplying to Kun Hyundai in India, if your dealer are located in Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, or in United Kingdom or in USA, then you call this supply as an export. So you have import when you buy the raw material, and when you supply the finished products internationally to the customers located outside India, then you call that process as an exporter. And then the customer, your brothers and sisters, those who are settled in US or UK, they can buy the car through you. Then they will become the end customer. That's a foreign customer. So with this small example, what we have learned, or our takeaway is only the internal and external supplier and customer, and you have domestic and international. These 5 elements we have seen it. Mr. Shaktivel, move to the next slide. So what probably you can blow up, Shaktivel, or make this this slide into a bigger bigger. Thereby, the visually you can see very good. Raw material components part and basic on the left hand side when you are facing the computer on your left, the raw material component parts. Below that is basic finished goods. Below that is customized product. So this is the goods flow. It can be inflow or outflow. On your right, you can go little up. You have supplier, then you have a manufacturer, then you have wholesaler or the warehouse, then the retailers. So this is an information flow on your right. Little come down, little come down. Yeah. Then you have a consumer, that is called a end customer. So on your left, you have raw material components, finished goods. On your right, you have supplier, manufacturers, then the warehouses or the wholesalers, warehouses, then the retailers, and finally you, the end customer. What you have seen in the first slide as SCM, supply chain management, now you have seen it as a picture. Next slide, ma. So you have in supply chain management, you have making decisions regarding the structure of the supply chain. See, you have seen in the previous slide, we put a structure. So for this session, we kept this as a structure. Like that, for your own company or where you're working, if you're getting employed, at that time, you can make a decision, the structure of the supply chain. Then the coordinating the movements of goods and services. See, the coordinating the movement of goods is called a logistics. This logistic can be domestic logistics or international logistics. Then the third one is sharing information. So it's called a MIS, a management information system. Between the members, instead of, in fact, I should change the word, instead of members, I should say stakeholders, stakeholders of the supply chain. The stakeholders of the supply chain can be a supplier, or can be a dealer, or can be a wholesaler, or a retailer, or an end customer, or any in-between party in the supply chain, that link, that information need to be shared. So the goods flow and logistics activities. Third one is information flow. Next slide. So we have trends like improving capabilities and realities. So your consumer expectation and competition. See, what happened when the business started initially, say about 500 years or 1000 years before, it was called a barter system. You would have studied in your undergraduate. The barter system is exchange of the product. Say 1 kilo of rice versus 1 kilo of wheat. See, even the unit of measurement was not there. See, I should not use the word 1 kilo. Instead of 1 handful of wheat versus 1 handful of rice. So the unit of measurement need not be the same, but it's approximately 1 handful of wheat versus being exchanged with 1 handful of rice is called a barter system. Later on, the money has been invented. And what happened? The currency. Then what happened? The demand and supply, because of economical force, economic backgrounds, and your demand and supply, the products started moving from one part of the globe to the other part of the globe. This is called International Product Life Cycle, IPLC. So the customer expectations have gone up and the competition also have gone up. See, when I did my UG and PG in Guru Nanak College. See, at that time, I did my BCom and MCom full time, like you, in the college. It was in the year 82, 85 and 85, 87. At that time, honestly, I do not know what is mobile phone at all. Can you imagine? Mobile phone, I don't know. We don't know at that time. We cannot even think of in our wisdom imagination there is a phone called a mobile phone. When I did my college, at that time the only phone was your you would have seen in the movies that old type of telephone where you have numbers are there 1 to 9, 0 to 9, where you have to dial and lift the your receivers and then keep talking. And at that time, for making an international call, there is I should go through the telephone exchange. Maybe your professor, your madam can explain that. When you call an international call, you have to call that exchange, telephone exchange people, and give your number, the other end, like your US number, and tell them to connect. So they will connect you, and every 3 minutes, if I'm right, they will interfere and they will ask you, sir, would you like to continue another 3 minutes? So like that, you cannot have a privacy. Your telephonic conversation can be overheard by the normally they don't do it. What I'm trying to tell, today's technology was not there at that time. Okay, so what happened as the product, international product, the products are start moving, the R&D, research and development, and in the innovation, what happened? We have got new products. Today we have a latest facilities in our hand. So that is called a consumer expectation. See, those days we always have our domestic Indian product only. We call it ISI or product Agmark or Indian products. Today, every shop you are getting an international product. So that is because of customer expectation or consumer expectation and the competition. Okay, so this power shifted. We have customer not only domestic, we have customer globally, internationally. So this shift took place once the economy opened up, mainly the international business when started flourishing. So the trade between the business between the country to country started easing out. In the process, what happened? Your SCM also evolved. Supply chain management also evolved. So globalization, the information technology, government regulations. See, this globalization and customer expectation and competition, these three had put the information technology into the front row. Like for an example, even 3 years back, we don't know. I think 90 or 95% of our people have never used the Google Meet, Zoom Meet. Today, what happened? We have been forced to take such kind of modern technology, but instead of traveling from one place to other place, by sitting at your own home and trying to listen and meet the people, chat. So that information technology also have developed. Then the government regulations. We had a strict government regulation during 50s and 60s. That means the curbing the import, promoting the export. So that was the approach. Today, that approach have changed. That is why we are using the word globalization. So that means the entire globe is in your hand. So like for an example, whatever you want to buy or you want to sell, you can do internationally, just like your next door, walking to your next petty shop and trying to buy whatever household thing, the same way you can do it your international business. So in this process of developing this business, what happened? The suppliers and your other stakeholders, say for job workers or suppliers or warehousing or your logistic service providers, they are all started placing within the country or outside the country. So in the process, what happened? Information technology has become a very vital role, without which you cannot do the business. So the government regulations also, they removed the barriers slowly, and today the government is talking of easing out of business, international business. Assuming you are an exporter, they are giving incentive to you, to the exporters, by way of various export benefits, and right from your direct taxation or indirect taxation benefits have been given, and lot of subsidies have been given, right from electricity and water, even the place. That is how your economic zones, very nearer to our Chennai is MEPS, Madras Export Processing Zone. So such kind of zones have developed over the period. So these are all the governmental regulations. So when in the year 1950s, 60s, our import duty, custom duty structures used to be 300 or 400% maximum custom duty. See, when you want to import, assuming Indian rupee worth about 100 rupees of cell phone, or say 10,000 rupees of cell phone, so you may have to spell out 30,000 rupees as custom duty. Then your landed price at that time, I'm just giving an example, then 300%, so it will become 40,000 rupees. So 10,000 rupees product, where you will be paying 30,000 rupees, so 300, 400%. Today's scenario, the custom duty, because of WTO, World Trade Organization, and there was a forum called GATT, General Agreements on Trade and Tariff. The World Trade Organization, it started GATT in the 1934 Uruguay round, and started bringing the countries into their forum, and they started promoting the business between the countries. And they also said, we are geographically demarcating ourselves, India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Instead, they said, no, the one world itself is one country. So meaning that, so you can keep importing and exporting at a very, very minimal trade barriers or the duties. Then the environmental issues also started, and the latest trends you would have seen, right from your car, there are a lot of changes on environments of green. The green revolutions have taken place. So these are all the trends and the realities which in SCM it factors a lot, or it plays these factors plays a pivotal role or an important role. Move to the next slide. So typical supply chain: external supplier, internal function, then external distributor. So the external supplier can be a domestic, or it can be import. Internal functions, you have various functions in a manufacturing or trading or service, meaning that you have a shop floor production, accounts, administration, then your canteen, your various research and development. So various functions are there within the manufacturing company. So these functions, we call them as a internal customer and internal supplier. Say for an example, for a finance department in a manufacturing company, assuming you are in a finance department, for you the customer is your marketing department. The supplier is your purchase department. You call it a internal supplier, internal customer. I've just given a small example. So like that, the internal functions, then external distributors. So if you are FMCG, what is FMCG? Fast moving consumable goods. So you have various distributing networks. So you have a wholesaler, then the retailer, or your sub dealers, initially dealer, then wholesaler, and the retailer. Like that, various structures are there. So the basic three components are external supplier, external distributor, that is external customers. Then you have an internal function. All the three are connected through your MIS, management information system, or through your IT. Next. So I think we have seen this external supplier. We'll move to the next slide, ma. Probably you can use this slide as a referral point at later point of time. So external, sorry, ma, eighth slide. Very good. You have an external supplier called a tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. What is tier 1 supplier? He is supplied directly to the manufacturer. So in our example, for I-10 car manufacturing, MRF tire or Sri Chakra tire or your Goodyear, whoever you call it, they are supplying directly to them. Then you call them as a tier 1 supplier. Then tier 2 supplier, meaning that see, for MRF tire, in order to manufacture the tire, you need to have a rubber and synthetic material. Somebody from Kerala is supplying the rubber, natural rubber. Somebody is supplying the synthetic material, or the MRF tire is importing. Then you call that person, A company and B company. You call the A company and B company as tier 2 supplier. But tier 1 and tier 2, you have to look from the angle of Hyundai Motors. For Hyundai Motor, the tier 1 supplier is MRF. MRF is tire manufacturing company. They buy the raw material from A and B. Then you call them as a tier 2 supplier. Then for the rubber manufacturing company in Kerala, somebody is supplying the sapling and the tree has been grown. Then the rubber has been taken out. Then that company, the sapling supplying company, you call them as a tier 3 supplier. The tier 3, you have to see from the point of Hyundai Motors, not from the point of MRF. See, you can also see from MRF point of view. For a tier 3 supplier, for Hyundai Motor, for MRF, he will become a tier 2 supplier. You got it? Okay, move to the next slide. So you have internal functions. So various functions are there in supply chain. So processing, purchasing, production planning, quality assurance, and shipping. That is logistics. So these are all the various functions in supply chain. Next. So the logistic and distribution, what is it? See, here, I'm not going to stretch more on the production or quality. This is more towards global supply chain and domestic supply chain with respect to logistics and distribution. So that is how the PowerPoint has been prepared. So you are getting the right material at the right place at the right time at the right quantity. So you have two elements, traffic management. In other words, if you want, you can note down, this is called a TMS, Transport Management System. And you have a distribution management, or you can call it, partially you can call it WMS, Warehouse Management System. So you have TMS, Traffic Management, Transport Management System, or WMS, Warehouse Management System. In TMS, Traffic Management System, the selection, scheduling, and then the types of vehicle, and whether it is an inbound or outbound. See, the inbound with respect to Hyundai Motor, if it is import material, it is called a international inbound material. For Hyundai Motor, if somebody is supplying, say for an example, Lucas TVS is supplying the starter motor, which is an auto electrical parts. So Lucas TVS is supplying the starter motor to Hyundai Motors. That starter motor and the alternators and auto electricals are fitted into your car. Then you call him as a domestic supplier. So this is called inbound. Similarly, outgoing material, outbound, your finished car can come to Kun Hyundai at Annanagar from Sriperumbudur. Then you call it a domestic customer. The same car is being sent it to Korea, export to Korea. Then it is called a outbound, international outbound. So the inbound is meaning incoming, outbound is outgoing. Then you have a distribution management, say for an example, packing, sorting, handling, then various transit, in-transit material. So packaging, the packing and packaging, which we will see little later in our PowerPoint. Next. See here, Mr. Shaktivel, you can blow little, blow up. Thereby, you can. Dairy products supply chain. See here, you can see on the top, the customer, then you have a packaged milk product, fully packed milk product. Come little left, Shaktivel. Come thereby the yeah, it's called an external distributor. See, for a milk production company, the customer packed the milk product. It's a product, and there is a shop. See, the factory has got a shop. So the retail shop. So the milk products are being supplied through the shop, various distributor to the customers like you, end customer. These two people, that is the dealer or distributor and you as an end customer, you call yourself as an external distributor. Then you have an internal functions, like one is you are making the milk product, product. It's called a milk product processing. Then packaging. Then you have labeling. Then you have buying the raw material of milk. Then you are also buying the other preservative, which is not there in the picture. So these are all the various functions. So that internal functions are shown in a different color. Then come down, Shaktivel, little, come down. Then it's called external supplier. That we saw, no, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. For this milk manufacturing company, your dairy farm is tier 1. Then for somebody is supplying cattle feed to the dairy farm, is a tier 2. Then somebody is supplying de-oil cake to the cattle feed supplier, then you call him as a tier 3. So this husk, see, for an example, if somebody is supplying hay or a paddy straw to the farm, and you call them as a tier 2. Then somebody, the farmer, basically after taking the rice, then your paddy straw will come. Then you will become a tier 3. So these are all the external suppliers. And similarly for packing material, in the picture you can see that gives a live example. Somebody is making a log on the you are right, Shaktivel, last picture, log. Then that wood is being converted as a paper. It's called a pulp or a paper. Then tier 2. The tier 1 is with the help of that paper, somebody is making a corrugate box or a carton. Then is a tier 1. This carton will come to your factory, your milk manufacturing factory, and in that carton only your pouch or bottle of milk has been kept. So I think by this example you can easily identify tier 3, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Then similarly for a plastic, another example on the right, Shaktivel, that chemical extraction plant. Then this is a tier 3. This chemical extraction plant is making LDPE, low density polyethylene or polypropylene granules. Then it will become a tier 2. Then this, with the help of this polypropylene, it's like your small pellets. So with that they make a container. It's called a injection molding, or they can make a carry bag. It is called a blow molding. So that container is called a tier 1. See, this container will come to your factory where you can fill the milk. So your packing material. So in the packing material, tier 1 is called a plastic container, and your HMHDP or LDPE or polypropylene granule is called a tier 2, and your chemical supplier to the polypropylene manufacturer is called a tier 3. Next. Let's skip this because what is the time now? See, we have 45 minutes have gone. So let's for a time being, let us skip this outsourcing also. Next, you move to next. Yeah. 1 minute, the 15th slide. So the purchasing role in SEM, you have see your suppliers. The supplier, that is, you have a purchase department. They have a purchasing role to increase the importance of the material, because the raw material is being supplied through your supplier. So which is your cost of goods sold. 50 to 60% is your material cost. So what are all the expectation? Ethics, then developing the supplier relationship, then determining how many suppliers, then developing the partnership. Partnership is nothing but the supplier is as good as your, like an husband and wife. They are you call them as a partner. Why you call them partner? They work together. So the developing the partnership, meaning that here you don't see the real accounting partners here. Here the customer and the supplier, they gel very, very well. So that is the role of purchasing department in supply chain. Next. Next, probably this is further. You have the latest scenario called JIT, just-in-time manufacturing. See, what is just-in-time manufacturing? It's a big subject itself, but in the simplest way is like the inventories are just 1 day's requirement or 2 days requirement for the manufacturer. Then it is called almost JIT. Now, not days, it comes to the hourly basis. See, the Hyundai Motors, assuming they keep the raw material only, or the packing material for only 1 or 2 days, and that's called a lean supply chain. That means the suppliers are capable of supplying the packing material within a day or two. Thereby, the Hyundai Motor will not lose the production. So that's called a just-in-time. That's a big concept in auto industry. This terminology is being prevailed. So once you get employed at that time, you will understand the full concept of JIT, just-in-time, or two-bin system, or Kanban system. These are all the advanced stages of supply chain. Probably some other day I will try to explain to you, because I'm in a hurry to complete this PowerPoint. Thereby your live pictures will help you to have a more understanding than the theoretical part. Yeah, next. Shakti will move to the next. I said the warehouse. Warehousing, WMS plays a very important role. So you have various kinds of warehouses, like general warehouses or bonded warehouse or you have a distributor's warehouse. Like that, you have various types of warehouse. Okay, next, you move to the next slide, Ma. Yeah, probably we will keep this as a last slide for the theoretical part. Then lot of informations you can see it. No, you go up, Ma, go up. This slide. Yeah, information flow. So from manufacturer to the regional distributor, then the local distributor, then the retailer and the customer. This is one end of the chain. This is only the 50% of the chain. That is manufacturer to the customer. Similarly, from the supplier to the manufacturer, same kind of link is there. So that is that called inbound. This manufacturer to customer, you call it as a outbound. Manufacturer, regional distributor, local distributor, then retailer and the end customer. Yeah, a simple model was displayed in this slideshow. Probably Shaktivel, you can close this PowerPoint, and with the approval of your director and the management, you can share these PowerPoints to your other colleagues, your students, fellow students, and then if they have a specific doubt, then they can write to me. I'll try to explain to them individually. Now you move on to the picture. Some 30-40 photos are there. Yeah. Then you can. I think this is it the first photo? No. Yeah. This company called a Vanmor. It's in Belgium. When I had been to Belgium, I had been to this Vanmor company. Then what you can see, there is a big container. This is called the container is being offloaded. Next to that, there is a trailer. This containers, you have various dimensions. See, internationally, the products are moved through such kind of a containers. It has got a standard dimension, length, width, height, all throughout the globe. It is standard. Any part of the globe you go, this container dimension will be uniform for import and export. Next. This is a warehouse in Belgium, where I said the HMH polypropylene, PP granules. This is a poly bag. The products are kept in a big poly bag. On the bottom, the green color, you can see the pallets. The pallet, it's called a pallet, plastic pallet. The same can be made out of wood also, wooden pallet, or can be a plastic pallet. Then your jumbo bag is being kept on top of it. In between the pallet and the bag, if you blow, if you blow the picture, you will see there is a flip. There is a flip on the bottom, white color flip. Yeah, you are right. So that flip. So these are all the various type of packing material which is being used internationally. Next slide. Next. This is the flip. You can see it very clearly here, because in the earlier one, on your left you can see the flip paper is lifted up. Yeah, lifted up little. Yeah, exactly. That's a place. Beautiful. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah. So this is it's called a dock. In a warehouse, the container are being parked. Then there is a forklift, a partial forklift you can see on your left. They are holding the polythene sheets or paper rolls. This forklift is called PRC, paper roll clamp, PRC. And what they do, the forklift can get into the container and take the product, the polythene or a paper roll from the container and take it to the warehouse. So this is called a material handling equipment. This is very, very important in the warehouse. This function is very, very important. It's a physical function and it is an important function. So this container height may differ. So you can see little dark on your front, on the bottom. Exactly. That is an adjustable ramp. That ramp can be adjustable. It's pneumatically adjustable according to your container's height. See, the container is being parked in the trailer. Vandiiliye irukku in the container. So I think almost all of you can understand Tamil also. So this container is being placed in the trailer, and you are seeing the back side of the container. Doors have opened, and the material handling, the forklifts are going in and picking up the cargo. Probably in the subsequent slides you will see, you can see it very nicely. Next. Okay, leave it. This is my friend and me. Then next. See, this is called, it's a multi-axle vehicle. See, you can see the blue color Jeep. It's called a prime mover. The Jeep, it's called a Jeep. That's called a prime mover. You are right. You move the arrow on the right and take it to the, between the two wheels, first wheel to second, first wheel to second wheel. This is called a prime mover. There is a turntable in between. On your left, you can see three wheels are there. No, that is called a chassis. That is your the three wheels. On top of it, there is a bed. On the bed only, this products have been placed. So you can, or on the subsequent photos, I will show it. You go to the next photo. Here also, you blow up this, take it to the nearer to this this vehicle, the blue color Jeep, and there is a platform. You can see the lengthy platform. Exactly, that is called your floor bed, and you have it's called a triple axle vehicle. 3 wheels are there. So the prime mover is the Jeep. What in Europe or internationally, what they do, they can detach this Jeep separately and keep the chassis separately, which you can see it in subsequent pictures. Next. Okay, this is a closer look of it. In the warehouse, you can see the material handling equipment. That's a forklift. Apart from forklift, this fork, the arm can move vertically, and it can move up and down. That is vertically, and this fellow will move front and back. And sometimes the arm can also move horizontally. That you can see in the subsequent photos. Yeah, it's one of the warehouse in Netherlands. This is in Netherlands. Belgium and Netherlands are very close. The distance between like your Arakonam and Chennai, that distance 80 kilometers distance. Next. You can see here wooden pallets. There you saw a plastic pallet. Here it is a wooden pallets. And the products are it's corrugate box. You call. See, in our theory we saw cotton, no? Cotton or corrugate box. The products are kept in the wooden pallets. That's in the picture. What the gentleman is showing, the empty pallet. Now it's a loaded. That means the cottons are kept in the pallets, wooden pallet. Next. See, this is in the seaport. There is a terminal. Move next. I will explain in a much better picture. Okay, this is a warehouse. See, you saw the ramp, adjustable ramp. In a closed environment you saw. Now in a long shot video, where you can see the containers are parked on the back and the adjustable ramp. The products are getting unloaded from the container to the warehouse. Next. Yeah, now you see the green colored empty pallets are taken out from the container. Next. Yeah, you have a very close look now. See, this equipment is called a material handling equipment. You call it a forklift. There you saw the fork arm was different. Here the arm is different. This fellow will lift on the top. The difference between the previous picture and exactly. This is top. It's a top lifting. Anga previous one, it is bottom. See, your green color pallet, or you can see on your left, there is a hole. Yeah, you can insert the arm and lift it from the bottom. This is one type of lifting. The picture what you are seeing is the top lifting. Next. Yeah, the top lifting, this is 1 ton bag or 1,000 kilo bag are being kept in the green wooden pallets. Next. Yeah, okay, another picture. Next. Yeah, this is called as these shelves. You call it a SKU, stock keeping unit. SKU. You have a ground, not the GH. That's a different. See, you on the floor itself, you call it a G. Then G1, G+1. We call it in the building, no, first floor, second floor. Same way, you have a racks. You have first G1. G+1 means that white color fellow was kept, no, on top. That is the G+1. The G is ground. G+1 is on the first. Then on top of it, it will be G+2. Okay. So like that, the forklift will travel front and back and keep lifting the products horizontally and putting it into the different locations. Next. Yeah, you can see the picture. A close view of this fellow is this forklift will operate in a very tremendous speed, and this is a kind of a wheel. The wheel fitted forklift which will move front and back, and arms will move on the horizontal. Next. Yeah, the same one you can see it now. Next. Yeah, various. See, this fellow has taken it and going inside the warehouse. Next. Yeah, here in transport management system, you saw this is chassis. The containers are being kept on the platform with the triple axle. Jeep has been detached. On the munnadi irukra Jeep, that's called a prime mover. On the front la irukum, that prime mover has been taken out, and the container is being parked on the alongside roadside. Next. Yeah, long shot of warehousing. Next. Warehouse photos. Next. The Neelivat is in Netherlands. This is a very nice company, logistic company, international good company. Next. Yeah, that the Neelivat warehousing, warehouse pictures. Next. Yeah, you can see a different kind of material handling equipment like a parrot nose. So this fellow will lift the drum, like a parrot nose. He will hold it on the top and lift the drum from the pallet and putting it to the different location. Next. Then Wabix is another logistic company in Netherlands. Next. Yeah, this is inside the warehouse. This equipment, the 1 ton, the big jumbo bag you saw, no, they just drop it on the top. The center, it's called a axe, the katyad. It's a kind of an axe. And once they drop it, next you go to the next picture. There is a mesh. There is a sieving mesh. So they will on size wise they will sieve and take the product out to the silos. Next. On size wise they put the mesh and take the product. It's called a HMHDB or LDP granules. Next. That machine, closer look on the bottom, you see kuti kalkand mar, that granules. Next. Yeah, next. This is a different type of, this is called a steel coil. Your Hyundai car, the outer body coil, inner body coil, the door panels, in the coil, they are manufacturing it. So this steel coil, and these steel coils are kept in a row manner. So you have a different type of material handling equipment to use it. Inner dia, there is a hole there. Yeah, there is a shaft will be inserted and lift the product. Exactly. Correct. Shaft, male and female, like the shaft will be inserted in order to lift the this steel coil. Next. Yeah, next. Yeah, this is in Europe. This trailer is called a low bed trailer. Like your bigger high product, you can take it in this, the bed, if you can see, the bed is so low. Move the cursor to the bed, next to the wheel. Yeah, that's a bed. Very good, beautiful. It's called a low bed trailer. Next. This is a Jeep. This Jeep, or you call it a Jeep or a prime mover. This prime mover is taken out from the chassis, and they will attach it whenever they want, like a train bogie. They will attach and detach and move forward. Next. Yeah. Now you see the Jeep is there in the front. Then on the back, the chassis and the container is being kept. Next. I think 40 pictures are there. So I think we have come to an end. So what you saw in the internationally, that Belgium and Netherlands, there is only two systems. One is called a transport management system, TMS. The other one is called a WMS, warehouse management system. This TMS and WMS are the part of your supply chain on domestic supply chain and global supply chain. Okay. So with this, we are hit on time. We are delayed only by 3 or 4 minutes. And whoever wanted to interact, better unmute and then ask, get your doubt clarified. And these pictures you can, if you want, you can take it and then so Aram say you can go through it. Okay. And what is the procedure, madam? Your students can interact directly or in this
yes, sir.
thing,
Yes,
or
sir. They can directly interact, sir.
Okay, right.
Sir.
Then now it's a Q&A, question and answer.
Sir, your speech about supply chain management very thoughtful and enlightening for us, sir. Guys, now the session is open for Q&A.
Hello, sir. So, what do you expect from a beginner, sir?
For a beginner, நம்ம beginner-க்காக தான் இந்த PowerPoint போட்டேன். See, you first initially you have to thorough the theory part of it. You kindly go through, understand various concepts in supply chain management. See, the supply chain is like your MBBS or MD doctors subject. Like why I'm saying this equivalent to MBBS or MD, reason is the doctor does a surgery in Apollo Hospital as well as an open heart surgery is being done in America. The procedures are same. Similarly, for global supply chain, wherever you go, the procedures and the systems and procedures almost equal, other than the infrastructure facility. So this subject is a very live subject, and this will make you very competitive in your employment position. And once you first understand the concept and try to apply the concept into the field, that is why I've shared the PowerPoint and also shared a live picture instead of a mere what do you call it? I can explain the pallet. I can also explain theoretically what is corrugate box. Instead, you saw. So this is what is expected from the beginner. Initially, you have to go through the subject with the open eye and try to learn the subject. Then put that into practice at the second step.
Thank you, sir. So another one. So can you say about outsourcing, sir? So where it is used?
This is a topic itself, ma. See, what is your core competency? For assuming you are a manufacturer, are you from accounting background?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Those who are from accounting background, they will know there is a marginal costing technique. In that, they call it a make or buy decision. Make or buy. See, meaning that either you have to use your own competency and then make a product, or you have to buy the product. See, for an example, I will give you an easiest, simplest methodology. your mother, you are good in Tamil also, Sharath?
Yes,
You
sir.
understand Tamil?
Yeah.
உங்க அம்மா வந்து தோசை மாவை வாங்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறாங்களா, வீட்லயே தயாரிப்பு பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறாங்களா? அவ்வளவுதான். தோசை மாவை வீட்லயே கிரைண்டர்ல பண்ணாங்கன்னா இட்ஸ் மேக். தி சேம் ஐடி தோசை மாவை வெளியில இருந்து வாங்கினாங்கன்னா பை. மேக் ஆர் பை டிசிஷன். சி, இப்போ ஷரத் உங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் வராங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க உங்க வீட்டுக்கு. அந்த நேரத்துல போய் உங்க அம்மா வந்து அரிசி உளுந்தெல்லாம் போட்டு தோசை மாவு பண்ண முடியாது. பெட்டர் ஷரத் போய் கடையில இருந்து எனக்கு ஐடி மாவு வாங்கிட்டு வந்து தோசை போட்டுற வேண்டுவாங்க. ஆனா சேம் ஷரத்துக்கு நாளைக்கு வேணும்னா என்ன பண்ணலாம்? அம்மா மதர் கேன் மேக் தட் தோசை மாவு டுடே. ஸோ அந்த டிசிஷன் இஸ் கால்ட் மேக் ஆர் பை டிசிஷன். நீங்க தோசை மாவு வீட்லயே பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களா, வெளியில இருந்து வாங்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களா? அப்போ வேரியஸ் பேராமீட்டர்ஸ். இங்க குயிக்கா வேணும், டேஸ்டியா வேணும் அப்படின்னா வெளியில இருந்து வாங்கிக்கோங்க. ஆனா உடம்புக்கு ஹெல்த்தியா வேணும், லவ் அண்ட் அஃபெக்ஷன், உங்க அம்மாவோட லவ் அண்ட் அஃபெக்ஷன் இருக்கணும்னு நினைச்சா வீட்டுல பண்ணி கொடுக்குற தோசை மாவு தான் நல்லது. உங்களுக்கு ஹெல்த்தியா இருக்கணும்னு நினைச்சா மேக். பை டெசிஷனுக்கு நான் ஹெல்த்தி இருக்க மாட்டாங்கன்னு சொல்ல மாட்டேன், பட் யூ ஹாவ் அ ப்ராபபிலிட்டி ஆஃப் கெட்டிங் இன்ஃபெக்டட். அந்த மாதிரி தான் அவுட் சோர்சிங். நீங்க அவுட் சோர்சிங்னு போகும்போது when you will go for an outsourcing, assuming you are later on you are running a factory, at that time you will take a call whether you want to, assuming for Hyundai motor, the starter motor அவங்களே ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறாங்களா, they wanted to buy from Lucas TVS நினைக்கிறாங்களா? அவ்வளவுதான். they themselves can produce the starter motor, but the starter motorங்கிறது for Lucas TVS க்கு finished product. For Hyundai Motors, it's a part of a component. And the part of the component entire energy போட்டு வேஸ்ட் பண்ணுவாங்களா? அப்ப என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? They will try to buy it from the outside, outsourcing it, and then bringing it to their factory. It's called an outsourcing. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Very good. Okay.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
What
are the benefits? Yes, sir. What are the benefits a supply chain student will get when compared to HR or finance students, sir, in future days?
Today I said no. See what happened in the year 1940, 1950s, 1960. What is today's scenario? You have an ample opportunity, lot of employment opportunity. This is a live subject. I said it is equivalent to your doctor MBBS, because whatever you study here, see today you are able to see an international product by sitting in your home. எப்படி பார்க்க முடிஞ்சது? என்ன ஜீப்னா என்ன, பிரைம் மூவர்னா என்ன, WMSனா என்ன, இவ்வளோ நீங்க பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கீங்க. அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்? the moment you get studied, your employability not only in India, you will become an international resource. You can go to abroad and get employed. I'm not telling you to go out, but your employability அப்படின்னு வந்தீங்கன்னா each subject has got the specialization தான். அதுலயும் ஒவ்வொன்றுக்குலயும் ஒரு employability இருக்கும். But SCM has got a more opportunity for you, and this is a very live subject. In both domestic and internationally, this subject is a very live subject. Supply chain and logistics are a very live subject, and this will make you employable at a higher level, at a elevated platform. That's important. See, when you grow, after you get employed 5 years, 10 years later, you have to go to the higher in the ladder. Adu vandu idla possible. Okay. You're not convinced?
Yes, sir, convinced, sir. Then which state has more opportunities in India for supply chain students, sir?
Which
state in India has more opportunities?
It all depends on the which product, ma. It's which vertical. இப்போ நீங்க ஆட்டோ வெர்டிகல்னு எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா பூனா அண்ட் சென்னை இஸ் கால்ட் a டெட்ராய்ட்னு வாங்க. அப்படின்னா என்ன, ஆட்டோ ப்ராடக்ட்டுக்கு SCM வந்தீங்கன்னா சென்னை தான் தமிழ்நாடு, இல்லைன்னா மகாராஷ்டிரா, இல்லைன்னா டெல்லி. ஸோ ஈச் ப்ராடக்ட் லெதர்னு எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா என்ன ஆகும், உங்களுக்கு வந்து யூ கேன் டெல்லி ஆர் யுவர் ஆம்பூர், வேரியஸ் லெதர் ப்ராடக்ட். இட் ஆல் டிபெண்ட்ஸ் ஆன் த விச் வெர்டிகல், வாட் டைப் ஆஃப் த ப்ராடக்ட், அதை பொறுத்து தான் இருக்கு. ஸோ SCM in which industry, you are in a service industry, manufacturing industry, illana trading industry, illana again in the industry what type of a vertical, adha vechi da state. Neenga vandu state nu thaniya pirichu paakadinga. So you have an opportunity for domestic and international.
Okay, sir.
Sir, now I call upon Sailesh of First MBA to propose vote of thanks.
That's all. I'm ready to spend another 5-10 minutes with you guys. The reason is, see, this live interaction is very, very important. I don't know the time. If your management is so strict on the time, then we can close it. Otherwise, feel free to ask your question in English or Tamil. Thereby, I'll try to, instead of question, I call it as your clarification or doubt, because you are an MBA student now. You are almost a professional. So another 1 year அப்புறம் you are put into the market. அவ்வளவுதான், நீங்க மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு வந்துருவீங்க. அப்போ என்ன, what is important, whatever is there in your mind, you try to you try to ask now, or you can ask your madam or your management. It's an opportunity where you can ask your doubts or clarification now. That's why I'm extending another 5-10 minutes, subject to your madam's approval.
Student, you have any doubt, please ask, clarify.
What is important is, even the silliest doubt you ask, first you remove the shy. அதை எடுத்துடணும் வெளியில. நீங்க என்ன பண்ணணும், even if it is a small doubt, sir, what is logistics? What is, அந்த மாதிரி ஈவன் ஃபண்டமெண்டல் கேட்கறதுனாலும் தப்பு கிடையாது. இப்போ நீங்க கத்துக்கலைன்னா எப்போ கத்துப்பீங்க? So after your once you get employed 15-20 years later, then you come to know, I don't know what is TMS, what is WMS, I don't know what is EDI. அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறத விட இப்போ better you ask. As a student, you got lot of privilege. So even the silliest doubt you can ask. I don't call it as a silliest. If you have anything to share, or madam can share my email ID, you can keep writing to me.
Sir, do you provide internship opportunities for supply chain students, sir?
Yeah, we have done it. ஒரு batch ஆயிடுச்சு.
Okay, sir.
The second years பண்ணிட்டாங்க எங்க கிட்ட.
Yes, sir. If we are upcoming students need to enrollments, how can we enroll?
Subject to your management, yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes, possible.
Thank you, sir.
Obviously, I'm expecting another question. என்ன மேடம் சொல்லுங்க, என்ன எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட்டும் கொடுப்பீங்களா? Yes, it is possible. The bright students and bright விட what I will call it, good positive thinking. Good positive thinking, அதுதான் முக்கியம். See, there was a saying, which makes a man fully complete. அப்படின்னா பணமா, பொருளா, பொலிட்டிக்கல் பவரா, இதுவா அதுவான்னு கேட்டா கடைசியா எங்க வந்ததுன்னா குட் பாசிட்டிவ் திங்கிங். அதுதான் உங்களை 99 to 100 வரீங்க பாருங்க, அந்த ஒரு மார்க் வாங்குறது தான் கஷ்டம். அப் டு 99 வந்துடலாம். 99 to 100 நீங்க லாஸ்ட் பால்ல சிக்ஸர் அடிச்சு 2020 வின் பண்ணணும். அந்த மாதிரி நிலைமையில இருந்து சிக்ஸர் அடிச்சீங்கன்னா எப்படி இருக்கும்? அது எப்போ பாசிபிள்னா, இட் இஸ் பாசிபிள் வித் தி ஹெல்ப் ஆஃப் குட் பாசிட்டிவ் திங்கிங். See, your college, your management are very good people. I'm not the salesperson for your college nor your madam. So what is very important is try to learn, and they have a good knowledge, and they are also engaging the professionals from the industry to interact with you. That is very important. So you have to spend time. In fact, I can suggest madam, next time onwards இந்த மாதிரி Q&A முன்னாடியே சர்க்குலேட் பண்ணிடுங்க. முன்னாடியே யூ ஆஸ்க் தெம், என்ன டவுட் இருந்தாலும் கேளுங்கன்னு சொல்லி, அப்பதான் யூ மேக் தெம் டு ஃபீல் ஈஸ் அவுட் இன் த மீட்டிங். அதுதான் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay, yeah. Otherwise, you can call it as a day. That's not a problem.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
May I, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So you're talking about TMS and WMS. Both go hand in hand, or like?
Yes, it is both eyes. Both eyes.
No, they can
That important.
choose, or if a student would like to choose a particular specialization, they can choose it, or they have to go generalize it in.
No. This is when they want to improve their core competency level, then this is each one itself is a vertical. So TMS itself is specialization, WMS itself is a separate specialization. But this both, if you take SEM as your what do you call it, as a human being வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், SEM ஐஸ் எப்படி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்டோ, 2 ஐஸ் எப்படி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்டோ அந்த மாதிரி TMS and WMS. ஒரு ஐல சர்வே பண்ணலாம், பட் 2 ஐ இருந்தா எவ்வளவு அட்வான்டேஜ், அதுதான் இது. So your TMS and WMS. Yeah.
So what is the opportunity in India regarding these two sectors, like these two specializations? Sir?
Immense opportunity. Okay. Domestically, immense opportunity. See, SEM, in my opinion, see, even since I belongs to this side of it, I don't call it, but each one has got a advantage and disadvantage. But I will call SEM has got more advantage and less disadvantage.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Please explain about TMS, sir.
Transport management system. What we will do, we will take one hour session for TMS itself.
Sure, sir. Sure.
That kind of a subject. So, exactly. Transport management system. See, you have seen various vehicles today, right from your. In quick 2-3 minutes, I'll try to complete. Right from your bullock cart, your cycle, 2-wheeler, then 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler, LCV, HCV, then 20 feet, 40 feet, multi-axle, then your train, your aeroplane, your ship, all are in TMS, transport management system. Okay, so each sector you can talk. You can talk various aspects. In ship, you have a bigger, smaller, bulk, break bulk, containerized. And in the aeroplane, you can take it a smaller ATR or bigger aircraft. So like that. So everything will come. Your train also, your passenger train as well as your cargo. Everything will come under TMS, transport management system, right from your bicycle.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Ailesh, you can proceed.
Good day. No duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. I, Sailesh R of DG Vaishnav School of Management, would like to convey my gratitude to our guest speaker for the day, Mr. Sundaram Dilip, branch head at ATC Global Logistics Private Limited, for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion with his presence and wonderful thought-provoking speech. Your speech was knowledgeable and interesting, sir. I would like to thank you for spending your valuable time and enlightening us with your thoughts on SEM, sir. I would like to thank our college secretary, Shri Ashok Kumar Mundraji, our principal captain, Dr. S. Santosh Babu, and our beloved director, ma'am, Dr. U. Amleshwari, for her guidance and moral support. I also extend my gratitude to thank our Madras Management Association MMA for supporting us. I'm happy to thank our faculty members for their extended support and assistance. Once again, I thank all the students for your patience and cooperation throughout the Cloud Connect 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. All the best, and have a safe life in this COVID period. It's very, very important. Mask, social distance, and very safe. Don't venture into outside world. But you are all young, dynamic students. So still, the COVID is a tough subject. Maybe the government of India or government of Tamil Nadu is talking about vaccination. Preferably you take 18. You are all 18 plus, except your Lokeshwari madam maybe 18 minus. Am I right, madam? Okay, so just jovially, don't mistake me. So
No,
like I think she will in the day முடியும் போது கொஞ்சம் சந்தோஷமா போணும்ல, அவங்கள 18 மைனஸ்னு சொல்லிட்டாலே போதும்ல. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Boost up இருக்குது எனக்கு.
Okay ma. Okay, and
Sir.
have a safe life. Yeah.
Sir,
Thank you
with
so
your
much,
permission,
sir.
Go
Sir,
ahead.
with your permission, can we have a picture with you, sir?
No problem. No problem.
Guys, kindly turn on your camera, please. Yeah, sir.
So you have a combination of it's a co-ed, male and female, or only? I'm
It's a
talking about students.
combination, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.